are going into fall, which is often considered our second severe weather season. After a few tornado warnings this summer, a few of you asked questions like, why didn't my siren sound? Well, that led us to dig deeper into who's sounding your sirens and when they will and won't sound. Some of the realities are surprising. Here's the first of our two-part series, Sounding the Alarm. Let's say a tornado warning gets issued for your area. How are you getting notified?
We don't want the public to rely on one piece or one way of getting their information.
And if you're putting faith in storm warning sirens, you may be at a dangerous risk. A common myth is that once a tornado warning is issued, sirens in that area are immediately sounded. It's not true. In most cases, it takes someone to sound those sirens.
It's a tough decision when emergency managers have to make that call. Do I sound the sirens or not? Don't. Hindsight 2020 emergency manager. You're not sitting in his operations center making the decision with all the pieces of information flying at you.
Take a few months ago, for example. Bloomington and Normal were under a tornado warning for some radar-indicated rotation, and the sirens didn't sound.
Just because it went under a warning, we verify to make sure that we actually have a tornado or a funnel cloud in the area to alert our residents.
That was McLean County EMA Director Bob Clark in an interview we first brought you back in June. Regardless of some radar-indicated rotation prompting a warning, their policy is not to sound the sirens unless a spotter confirms a funnel cloud or tornado on the ground. They oversee sirens within the Twin Cities, while rural McLean County communities control their own. It's a similar story over in Tazewell County.
A lot of the municipalities, both villages and towns, are responsible for setting their own sirens off.
While the county EMA will sound their sirens if a tornado warning is issued, things are still complicated. For example, if you live in Pekin or East Peoria, the city sounds your sirens. And different procedures have led to confusion in the past.
If you move from one city to another in Tazewell County, that it might just be a little bit different.
And a couple of years ago, the East Peoria sirens were sounded when an off-duty emergency official thought he saw a funnel cloud. After that, Morton also sounded theirs when no threat was even present. That's why Tazewell County EMA officials have called for organization and communication between each municipality and their residents.
You take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
But I think that it would be good if we got them all together, even once every other year, just to make sure that we're all on the same page still.
So we told you there about sirens in McLean and Tazewell counties and how the sounding criteria varies from one community to the next. But let's say you live elsewhere in the area like Peoria or Woodford County. Tomorrow in part 2 of Sounding the Alarm, we'll take you to one local village recently hit by an EF3 tornado and talk about the seconds left between alarm and the aftermath. We'll also talk about the risk of waiting for the sirens and tell you where you should and should not be getting your severe weather alerts. Again, that's tomorrow night at 10.
All right.